Good evening. Excuse me. Hi, Winry. So today we're doing some Dungeons and Dragons map creation. We're doing it for my Dungeons and Dragons club I run at work, which is something I do for the little kids. They get to experience Dungeons and Dragons. They are currently going through the campaign Dragons of Icespire Peak. Right, give me a sec. Right, so we got two dungeons that they might possibly get to. We have, let's see, not Icespire Hold quite yet. We got the Mountains Toe Gold Mine, which is quite a big map. It'll probably be. I need to decide how I'm going to do that one. And then we've got the Loggers Camp. The Loggers Camp is kind of an abandoned camp that they are trying to investigate what happened. I think we'll start with that one because I've already printed the monsters for that one. How am I going to get this onto a single sheet of A3? This is set up so that it will print onto a single piece of A3 paper, which is a kind of a useful thing to do. Where do we have combat? There's two combat places. There's a series of tents, and there's a house. Okay, let's start with the house, I think. Okay, we got like a 9 by 6 footprint, 9 by 7 footprint. No, 6, 12, okay. So I want to leave a little bit of space. We'll start here with some walls. Building tool, wooden floors. I want wooden walls, I think. It's a temporary camp, it's not a stone thing. I just read the description. So basically, it's a logging camp, so I'm guessing it's going to mostly be wood. Switch off and takes a while to mention I'm live. Like that stream elements thing. I try to wait until that says that I'm live before I go live so that people don't miss anything, but sometimes I'm a bit early. Okay, so I need to leave a fenced off area which has got some logs. I wonder if it'd be easier to try and show you a picture first of what I'm doing. Yeah, I can do that. Give me one sec. I'll show you a picture of the overall map. Somewhere I've got this downloaded. Okay, we're on page 34. There we go. If I get to studio mode. I'm actually not 100% sure. I've never used studio mode. I don't know why I'm suddenly trying it now. Let's just see what happens. Where is it? Yep. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Found it. Right, so here you can see the picture. This is what we're sort of working on. I'm currently making building L3. The Ankeg eruptions is where one of the monsters is going to emerge from the ground. Center this. No insanity. So we got the eruption from the middle of the ground at L3. So I need to build the building that's going to be around that. I need space for the sort of wood pile just outside. And the other thing I need to make is L6, where the other two eruptions are. The rest of that I can just kind of describe. So let's go back to this. There we go. Right, so I've got that picture open. Just I can do picture in picture. I've never done it before, so that seems like a silly thing to try and do. Maybe we'll do it for future D&D streams. So we're making building L3. I want to leave a 2 wide gap, and then we'll do a 9x3 building. 9x3, and then we'll extend it here. I might not do the... I'm assuming that's a doorway. It seems like a weird place to put it, right next to a cliff. Fireplace, maybe? Yeah, like a stone section that's a fireplace rather than a... Hi, Misha. Maybe a stone section that's a fireplace rather than a doorway. But then I can't really see where the doorway is. Hmm. This is what we're making, Misha, just so you can see if you missed the start. We're making building L3. See on the map. Okay, so we got I'm guessing the wider squares, the thicker squares are doors. I need a wall in here. Wait, no. Wood. We got interior wall. And then we got doors. One here. Let's have a look. What type of door do I want? An internal door. I always get picky about doors. I don't know why. Yeah, that looks like a decent internal door. It's quite thin. It's adorable, is it? We need another door. Here. Probably zoom in a bit, shouldn't I? There we go. Now you can actually see it. It's an external door, so it would probably want to be a bit more like this one. Yeah, that looks fine. And then we got 4 windows. It's a wooden building, so I'm not going to put stone windows. There. Now we need like a fenced off area here that's big enough for a pile of logs. I also hope I've got a pile of logs I can use. I need the wall tool. I'm looking for a fence. I don't really have a suitable fence, do I? I might actually have some in the path tools. Path. Yeah, log fence. What do you think? Does that look too unusual? It's there. Think that looks alright? What do you think? Corners too round? Maybe I should sharpen the corners. Let's just have another look for any more sort of wooden fences. How's this one look? That looks better. Let's do that one. And I think this is the sort of fence where it would just go like that. Like, it's not a super big fence, so you could probably step over it if you needed to. It's just something to keep the wood together, I guess. Right, so we're now looking for objects. We want something. I probably actually think it's terrain as well. And yeah, I'm not happy with that. Grass? We'll start with grass and then have a look. Right, so I wonder if I should do like a hint that there's something in the floor here, like cracks or something. Because this is where the monster's going to erupt from. It's a large creature, so it's like a 2x2 square. If I made like some cracked floor, maybe. Go to the flooring tool. There you go. I'm sure I had more options of my assets disabled. No, they're all on. Actually, no, a lot of them are off. Maybe I shouldn't do this. I don't know why these keep turning themselves off. All of these were a big collection of free assets, which I found on Reddit. Okay, so save and reopen the map. This is Loggers Camp. Okay, and then we'll open Loggers Camp. Right, so I now should have all these assets available, yeah. I'm sure there was a flooring tool. It's just the tiles. There we go, a lot more tiles now. Cracked wood. Maybe I'm going crazy. I'm sure there was a set of wood in the building tool. It was like broken, damaged wood. Maybe I'm going crazy. Okay. I'll think about the floor later. I might need to. I know, but I think like a stump fence like that one is probably going to get in the way of moving logs here. Is that I probably need to even do a gate for this wall. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, that looks not very nice. Okay, can I change the color and make this a bit darker? Actually, let's have a look at the building tool. Floor color is. I'm just going to copy that hex. Right, then we'll go back to the pattern. Oh, it was the same. Why is that different color to this? Anyone good at hex codes from just colours? Right. Ah, okay. It's really annoying me that this wood is the wrong colour. I want it to be a bit darker. Barely changed. Oh. I feel like I'm gonna end up spending ages trying to colour match this floor. It's a really stupid idea. Too dark. Maybe the wood's too pink. Oh, geez, why is that so bright? Great, let's just make all the floor. Why is that colour change suddenly? I want it darker wood, I think. Yeah, there we go. All the floor's damaged now. The building's in ruins a bit. Yeah, but if it's too noticeable, then it feels just as weird as it being unnoticed. Okay, we're looking for a fireplace. I think this one's probably the most suitable. I need it not to snap. Okay, so we've got a fireplace. It's a room that's actually where someone was staying. Office and tool storage, actually. So no, it's an office room. That should be loads of equipment. And I want a desk touching this door because it has been blocked. So it says a writing desk type thing. I don't know if that red is to indicate that it. Yeah, okay. Maybe too small. I think that gets across that. I'm trying to block a door with it, Winry. I've played some of Dishonored 2. Yeah, but it scales in all directions. Like, if I scale this up, is yeah, it now sort of is trying to clip into this room, but maybe that would be enough. So he's barricaded himself in the room, which is his desk, and he's on top of the door. Good to know. So we want logging equipment in this main room. So go on, Misha. I have played Dishonored 2 only as the Empress, so if it's about Thingy, what's his name from Dishonored 1, I don't know much about that part. I haven't done it yet. Why is this so small? Wait, I want to start with the table first, and then we can put stuff on the table. shelves would actually probably be better. I can spell. Oh, right, okay. That does sound interesting. Uh, Actually, let's do a knocked over shelf. Okay, let's think about how a shelf would fall. If it fell away from the wall, it wouldn't land this way up. If I put it there, the only way it could land there is if it was... Actually, I want to flip it. The only way it could land that way is if it was like pushed along this area here. I've got loads of these. I tried really hard to make this, didn't I? How many of these have I got? Okay, I'll just leave it for now. It's such a good idea. I wish I'd had it so I could do it in my campaign, but okay, we want more harnesses. Hmm. Let's go for rope then. Yeah. And then a couple of those saws. I'm gonna make this one bigger though. Actually, that's really bad health and safety. I'm gonna rotate this one. Handle pointing towards you. Hey, I want logs. I remember what that prefab was for. Probably something that wasn't good for your party. This come from logs. There we go. Hmm. Going to make this bigger. So we got log piles. Now how do I make this look more of an interesting building? Let's see. So we probably actually need light. I'm not going to do anything in terms of lantern. Yeah, back down to 1. I don't want something attached to the wall. That looks too silly. I think that looks too silly. A bit, have a look. Maybe it works. Because the room would have light in. They've got a lantern for if they're going into the darker areas. They've got a knocked over shelf. Probably put some scattered debris around it, shouldn't I? What would be on the shelves? Probably not books, because I imagine they'd be in the office. Something that loggers would take. To be honest, it's probably more common than you think. It's just I don't really seem to have a wall lantern. So if I can get one of these like on the wall, I'd probably be happier with it, but oh, we're on scatter, that's why I'm how's that look? Of the two, I think I prefer this one. I don't really see like I've got a decent option for I feel like dwarven lights are probably a bit out there. Actually, some knives would probably be around because knives are just a useful tool. One that fell out of the shelves. Probably not a pickaxe. Axe maybe though. Which axe looks most? Probably not that one. I think this one's probably the closest to too small. Yeah, that's well. Got the worn one. Yeah. I just know the party's going to ask if they can pick them up. Flip this. There's a way to do that. They're not. Oh, there was a flip. Oh, there we go. Whole day. Yeah, none of them are really suitable lumberjack axes. But the hatchet's probably the closest in terms of shape. At least in my opinion. Because I can kind of picture in my head how the axe looks. And that's how I'm picturing it. Although I do seem to have made like a sigil of a guild by just putting the axes like that. That's what's just coming to mind. So this is a storage room and an office. So this room here needs a chair. Axe. Let's have a bit more furniture. Should probably do like a no, let's change that to scale of 1, shall we? Like the guy who's hiding in this room is on top of this desk to stop the Yankeg from getting through the door, I believe. Although the fact that they can burrow doesn't seem to have occurred to him. Or the Yankeg, for one. Yeah, I wonder if I can do picture in picture because I feel like having the picture in the corner might make it easier to talk through stuff I'm doing. Okay, so how do I tie this in to the rest of the actual area? I also wonder whether I should do like a version of this map, like the actual world map, just a small one for them to see the zone, but without any of the detail. So just sort of like some buildings and stuff. Tracer blades, minimal bearding. Do you think like the end should be flat for the actual thing? Candle. I feel like the desk could have a candle on for. Is there a fallen over candle? Hammer and nails, actually. That's good clutter. Okay. I'd quite like a fallen over candle if I can find one. Or toppled, I guess is the word. The other option is I try and find a load more uh assets. Okay, zoom out a bit. I kind of want like a dirt track that's not too extreme because the actual world map doesn't have a path connecting to this door, it's just grass. But I feel like having it a bit trodden on would be suitable if it's a storeroom that's used quite a lot. A hedge. No, it's not. Well, why can I print the a rib cage? Who? What? Well, who needs a rib cage this long? But strange sea monster. Okay, so we're looking for just like trampled grass, ideally. That's what I'm hoping for. None of them are screaming grass to me. Training is kind of more for. Hmm. I guess it's going to end up being just a dirt path then. Yeah, none of them really look like what I want. Coral though, interesting. Okay, dirt path it is. This one. That is wide. Oh, I think that's. eh, Yeah, I think that's okay. It is probably like a giant sea snake or a snake. We you stumble across the body of a giant serpent and then okay, that's too extreme. Maybe. Let's see some more training though. I want like different grass textures. I kind of feel like I prairie. You got grass, moss, and grass. They the same grass. Yeah, brush of it. Uh, what's the rule of moss? It grows on the south side of trees, is it? Yeah, it looks fine. And we want some plants, grasses, and stuff. I shouldn't scatter. Although maybe I quite like scattering stuff sometimes, but sometimes I feel like just placement is better. I'm actually not sure I like that path. I think it might be too dark. And colorable? No, doesn't look like it. A lighter dirt path. See one. Hey, anyway, back to grasses things. What type of grass do I want? Because I've got a lot of different options because I've got a lot of mod packs installed. Big tree. Colorable plants. Okay. What's that? Not well kept. I wonder if the cliff. I could probably do the cliff on the south side, coming up this way. Yeah, I'm gonna add that. I think just some depth. Or path cliff, didn't we? Well, you. Sure, I saw a cliff earlier. Ah, I wonder if this one's actually better. That was width 1. How does that look? Kind of looks like cartwheels to me. So maybe actually that would work instead of this path if I had 2 sets of cartwheels that went and stopped here. Because obviously the logs would need to be loaded onto the cart. Yeah, okay. So let's redraw footpath. Have the cart stop about. Delete this one. Copy this. Shift it over. Probably actually extend it on this side. Oh, that does not look good. Uh, yeah, I just need to freehand draw it again. It's so hard to redraw these. How's that? That looks suitable for a cart? You guys just been talking about moss for 2 minutes. Sorry about the conversation turning to moss. Okay, so let's think. I need some more plants for some depth. I want a cliff going up this way. Path stone slate. Oh my god. It all slate? It's all slate, okay. Wait, one, two. How did the actual look? Cliffs are these cliffs are too thin. I don't know if I want to do the cave brush. Because while it can be useful. Okay, I'm just going to save this first, just because it'll be quite a lot of work to undo. Because it changes the floor, it makes it a bit more fiddly. Because you can't have grass in caves. Having such an in-depth moss discussion. I mean, I'm confused by it, but I'm glad that you're having it. Okay, I think. I want some bushes. I definitely need to work out how I'm going to make this cliff. I'm not using the path tool. Is there a wall? I feel like there should be a wall. These walls are like battlements. Yeah, okay, it's not walls. Or maybe it is going to end up being that thing. I just need to change the area around it. Can't really see a better thing for it than this cliff. Well, yeah, but there's random and then there's moss. Okay, how am I going to transition this? Make it dirt maybe rather than grass at this section. Do I like how this looks? I mean, it would make sense that the top of a cliff is going to have less grass and stuff on. But maybe it wouldn't be completely dead. Uh, some gravel on hugging the edge of the cliff. Be more like a cracked stone cliff than a one. Not rocky. I don't like rocky. That's true. Yeah, so I'll do the gravel overlapping on. It's an old cliff. Some of the grass has grown over it. All of this grass. gravel. I feel like the dirt doesn't really work, but I think like the gravel may be too much. Maybe I should actually have it be grass again as you get near the edge. What do we think? Does that look alright? Reckon the moss up. We got that gravel a bit. We got there's a broken cliff face with moss and grass. Does that look enough like actually I think I'm gonna take the grass pretty much right up to the cliff. And just have the gravel on the low side. Think that looks alright, maybe. I'm not super confident in it, I'd say. Let's do some more detailing while I wait for your opinion. Uh, hmm. Have some like brown grasses approaching into the gravel. Just make me like it more. Maybe a little bit. The intensity of the gravel brush. Sure, let's give it a go. Let me grass it again. Oh, it's a half intensity. It's what intensity seems to do. It's just how long it takes to fill up an area. But maybe that does look better. It's not as densely like the previous cliff looked like half the rock had fallen away. This one at least looks like I could in my head see this as being a sort of like the shaking of burrowing creatures has had some rocks fall. It's more grass, plants, things. I'd rather than do the search on tag. Just the fact that I don't really have that many options for. Maybe I do have more options for flooring than I think. Because thinking about it, I think I've got more downloaded. But you have to do something with it. There we go. This might be easier. Have a look. Bit more grass options. Gravel, dirt, grass, moss. Two grasses. One of these. Ah, I need to replace this grass back. Change this one. Grassmith. I think I actually prefer this grass to the other grass. Change this one to this. Is that too jarring colours? Change sandstone for some rubble, maybe? I like rubble. No, I don't think I do. But let's, rather than remake it, let's just change the gravel. Pebbles? Maybe if that was a bit more smooth, not quite so big. I feel like they look a bit more realistic, like rocks. Maybe the moss better is that. I don't remember what season it is. Let me just have a look at the book. I don't know if they actually mentioned the season. Yeah, I think it doesn't. Yeah, if you don't know the story of this campaign, basically a dragon has been chased from his nest by bigger dragons. So he's come down south to Fandolin, which is sort of like the standard starting area. And basically, the fact that a dragon has been spotted and orcs are invading and stuff has kind of thrown the area into upheaval. I think I actually like the brighter grass, especially because of the campsite we can see at L6. I'll get the picture back up. Give me a sec. The picture we can see at L6 there is on dirt, so I'm not going to have very much grass to play with. It's going to be a lot more sort of brown. So maybe making this a bit more grass colourful is good. So it definitely doesn't match the grass on the map, but I'm fine with that because, I mean, they're supposed to be coming up with this map themselves. It'll take them forever, so that's why I'm making maps for them. Like the book itself suggests that the party themselves are supposed to make these maps for themselves, but I just feel like that's way too much work for them to do, especially with the limited time we actually have to play it. That's a big smaller fern. It's a palm plant. That's why it's not. Yeah, I have some bushes growing near the fence. Yeah, they used the fence as a support to help them grow. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm not used to using studio mode. I probably actually just need to eventually pay for the premium touch portal and get way more buttons for it. I use it quite a lot. I actually use it when I'm not streaming as well to be really lazy and change the page in the book I'm reading. So I've got page up and page down as buttons. I mean, if I press them all, then you'll lose sound. Or turn the stream off, because that's a button. Right, okay. I might actually need to prepare a woodland combat area. Because apparently, reading this, while on their way to the camp, which will take them 2 and a bit days of travel, they meet a anchorite of Talos, using wild shape to look like a wild boar, and they can either fight it or they can let it live. And if they let it live, then stuff in the woodland manse, which is a later thing, is going to be harder because they'll know they're coming. Page 44 is the woodland manse. Should I prepare a generic woodland boss fight? I think I'm reasonably happy with this map. It's got enough detail. There's some plants. There's like cart tracks to show that the cart drives up so they can load the wood in. Yes, any sort of right like that is a person who makes the thing in the first bit. There's a spider on my wall. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this one, so I'm going to call this one finalized. Export it as a JPEG. Commercial print, sure. And this is Loggers Camp. Okay, I now need a new one. Paper again. So this one's going to be a lot more dirt. It's like this one's going to be hard to fit, to be fair. It's like 1, 2, 3. Let's picture back up so you can see. Right, so we're now moving on to L6, and you can see it's kind of a big space to try and fit in an A3 sheet. Oh, anchorite. Uh, which is like a religious figure. Anchorites are kind of like religious followers of things. The anchorite might actually be a tough fight for them because it's a TR3 monster and they're level 3. I'd hardly say that their tactical abilities are great. Yeah, sorry, Winry, I didn't pick up that you were making fun of me. Maybe I don't need a actual thing for the boar, because it's literally just they see a boar as they're heading towards the camp. Okay, so which way around do I want this to be? It is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16 squares off the south. 10, 16, exactly right. Some of the tents are going to be right on the edge of the thing. And then width, we've got 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's too many because it's only 11 wide. So I either need to make a 2-sheet map, which I can do. I have done a 4-sheet map. I even know the trick of how to get it to print as 2 A3 sheets. I was able to work that out. Took me a while, but I got there. Okay, so we're gonna make a twice the width one to give me a bit more space to play with. So 22. There we go. So now it'll be an A3 sheet cut down the middle. Okay, we need a sort of campfire in the center. Maybe a bonfire would be a better word. Let me just read out the description of L6. L5 is the north campsite. Is described as a dead campfire surrounded by 6 tents containing a bedroll and mess kit. The tents and bedrolls have been partially dissolved by some kind of acid spray. Footprints and marks in the sand suggest several humanoids were attacked here and dragged away. Anyone? Oh, it's sand. It's not dirt. Okay, good to know. So all these tents are pitched on sand. Weird to me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to phrase things. Well, it's actually near a sort of lake, isn't it? If I go back to the image, we've got a big sort of lake at the top, and then all of this is kind of sand. Yeah, anytime they get within 20 feet of a one of those stars, then it causes the monster to pop out and attack them. Let's see. Maybe it's only sand at the very northern edge and then it's dirt for the rest, but the texture on this map kind of looks like sand all the way. Yeah, they're 5 feet squares. Like they're burrowing hunters, so they kind of, and they're large creatures. They have a 10-foot circle as their token. So they travel. It definitely does have a sandy area to it, doesn't it? It just, in terms of colouring, I can kind of see it as being the sand as just over time. I kind of want, maybe I can find a dirt that looks sandy enough to be kind of what I want. Have a look at our terrain. We've got a load of options. Not rocky or sands. No, I don't like stone. Have a look at. Haven't done it. What do you think? Does that look? Does it like? I mean, possibly. I feel like that kind of gives off the right sort of texture. Hang on, I need to position again. Really need to get used to this. So I feel like this sort of dirt color looks like it works well. There you go. Picture in picture. I don't know how that looks in on a monitor. Certainly tiny for me. Actually, you can sort of see it. Yeah, that's okay. So I'll leave it like that. Right, so we need 6 tents. I need to do something to distinguish where the monsters are. Okay, so tent. Colorable? Yes, they are. I feel like they probably want them to be a bit that sort of color. Yeah, that sort of color looks okay. Maybe write it a bit bigger because I've got a lot more space to play with. I need to think about this in terms of layout. Where do I want the middle to be? Or what do I want the middle to be? Okay, so I've made it like that. That's bigger. That looks okay, I think. That looks like a reasonable spread of tents. Everyone's got a little bit of space and privacy around the bonfire or campfire, I should say. The campfire is dead though, but we're gonna go for really this one. Oh, that one looks okay. We want some log seats. It's down. Perfect. One there. It's a abandoned campfire. I probably want some sort of cooking pot. Doesn't say it, but I feel like I would if I was here. Spit roast. Maybe that cauldron is the best because it's look at pans. That is a tiny pan. Snap. Hell. Everyone likes hot soup. No kettles, apparently. I gotta say, their fuzzy search logic is big. Kettle is almost like a skeleton, really. Didn't they even tell what this is? Maybe not. A little bit bigger. Not have them quite in the center of the fire because they've been finished with. Okay, there's 3 ank egg spots. I might actually need to move this plot over a little bit. Have a look. So the ank egg spots are one here, and one here. That's I want grass running around the outside of the camp. If it's raining, I actually quite like this grass mix. Brush. Fancy to max. So the actual grass comes a lot closer to the fence on the side. Oh, sorry. If you rotate this 90 degrees, the whole thing, then you've got sort of the bottom of the camp. Probably rotate this. Um, Rotate 90 degrees counterclock. like that. That's sort of the layout I'm going for. Is that better, Winry, for spatial? Okay, we'll put the edge of a tree or two. All right, so yeah, so we got monster here. Use this pan to mark it. Monster here, and then one back here. And if they get within 20 feet of those squares, I probably actually need to indicate the squares to myself so that I know whether they're within 20 feet or not. Although, I kind of don't want to spoil that there's combat in this camp until I actually start it. I feel like it'd be more interesting for them to accidentally stumble. I feel like one of the monsters they're just going to walk into, because they're going to come on this map from the. You see the mouse pointer over the picture? No. Okay, so they're going to come from this road here. Try to do this in studio mode. It's really not easy. Yeah. They're going to come from this road towards here. Follow it up. And then they're going to approach this camp from this side. I feel like this is going to be the first camp they see. And they're kind of going to walk straight into the monster. If they get distracted with the buildings first, then there's a couple of options for buildings. But I feel like they could just come straight to this campsite. How does this look like when it's printed? 6, 9, 10, 11. So this is the cut line. I feel like they go together okay. I haven't like completely destroyed stuff. Yeah, I think that's okay. I'm certainly not 100% confident on it, but okay. So how can we jazz this up and make it look more interesting? I want some trees. Got a big one. Bigger. There we go. Tree there. Rotate it. Tree there. The logs for them to sit on. We got equipment. Probably put some like scattered stuff around the tent entrance. Mess kits. No. These are quite generic mattresses, aren't they? Um, Rather than cooking stuff, let's have some bowls and plates. Yeah, probably they'd be ceramic, wouldn't they? They're kind of big, but they travel well. So it's too big. Based on the size of the pans, it's well too big, isn't it? I need a small bowl. Quite big. Try plates instead. Okay, not getting many plates. Maybe I'll just have to go for metal plates. Yeah, discarded clothes could be useful. Could be a decent thing. Let's put A pile of plates, haphazard. So they've kind of, yeah, bottles would be sensible as well. Bottle buried in the sand. They have a wine bottle green. Ew. Happy with that scatter. So they had a couple of bottles of wine. Okay, now look for clothes to have near the entrance. Yeah, I think I actually scatter. I want an object. Smaller. Eight maybe. Got sacks of clothing. Kind of looks like a trash heap, doesn't it? Uh, no. There's two cabins, which presumably people did live in eventually or originally. An old house, which actually has something important if they search for it. Uh, dock. I'm guessing with them being so close to the water, they probably just go and do their business in the water or at the water. Oh, barrel. Barrels of ale are always a good shout, aren't they? Who doesn't like barrels of ale? Is we got sort of evidence that people lived here. I send this to the back. Okay, so it looks like he's just left his clothes anchored. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's a pile of empty tankards. So I'll leave those by the barrels, because clearly they've been drunk dry. Somehow I don't think cardboard is actually a thing in D&D. That might just be me, but I feel like maybe I need some sort of brown grasses again. Maybe a bit much. Sure, I saw some ish grass. I wonder if I should make this area underneath this rocky or gravel or something. Pelts. I think I did see pelts actually. I did not. No, apparently not. Mushrooms at the logs. Maybe. Mushrooms might actually work. I wonder whether it might be a bit too. Well, I suppose it depends how long they've been sat here, doesn't it? Because it's a semi-permanent camp, so assumedly they're going to be here for a long time. They probably just one of the early trees was dragged over to make a seat. Maybe it would have mushrooms. Yeah, I think it's okay. Maybe I want to change the ready. Red might work better. Yeah, I'm happier with red. Um, yeah, it's because the book expects it to all be sort of theatre of the mind stuff or maps that they draw themselves. So they aren't going to ask for detail. But because I enjoy making the maps and because I feel like it's going to save time, I then put detail in to make it look interesting. Or try to, at least. Like, you've seen my other maps. Save this. This is Loggers Camp Tents. Not tense. Not tensed. I'll change the name later. So if you can actually see the name. Uh, hmm. Maybe I actually need to do raining. What is this? See if we got a sort of bit of a more darker dirt without being this dark. I've picked dirt texture, haven't I? I've got dirt base. And then kind of make it to the area where they walk quite a bit. Maybe a bit more flattened down. Do I need to swap those two dirts, maybe? Was it, Misha? Really? Oh, can you not see the two differences in colours there? Might not come across well in the stream. But basically, there's two different transitions of colour there. Just let me open the stream and have a look. Oh, I think I can see it. I have to go full screen to see it well, though. Well, I mean, it's not meant to be a massive change. It's just where the dirt's been more compacted down because they walk on it a lot more. I kind of wonder if I need to swap these two. No, I think I preferred it the other way. Blue filter might also affect it, yeah. And this way. You really have to get to the sort of center. Oh, so it turns out some of the teachers have been telling sixth form about my having the world record. Because I was actually asked about it by a sixth former. Like, I told some of the kids in D&D club. Just because I thought that they're nerds. They probably find it quite an interesting nerdy thing to have done. I was right. Sense and brass. I don't get how this is the light brass. It, what else do I want? Berry bush. Oh, so I can turn any bush into berry bush. Try to work out how I can sneak this into a thing. We did actually once put GDQ on screen for the kids to watch while they were doing revision for stuff. And they didn't really understand it. An orrery. They might be the same thing because I'm not 100% sure what an astrolabe is. But it's the planets on a movable thing that will track orbits, but greatly increase speed so you can see how they go over time. Check stuff. Like a coal? A bag of coal would probably be a useful thing to have somewhere near a fire. Put it probably against this big log. Can I do anything else to make this more lived in? Oh, then this is the same sort of thing, but huge. It's like usually it's mounted on a big platform, and it has a really complicated sort of cogwheel mechanism that, as you turn a handle, it rotates the planets by a different amount based on their orbits. Uh, a bathtub? No. Is there a well? Maybe they only get their water from the. Yeah, I'm not seeing a well. They must get their water from the lake. So maybe I want to have buckets of water. Maybe not a bathtub's worth, but actually, I think I saw a trick for this once. Barrel. That one. Yeah. Bigger. Actually, no. I might want to make this because it looks pretty huge right now. The back. Yeah, it's a way to fake a water butt by having a barrel that's open with water in. Yeah, I feel like that's okay. Yeah, it probably serves exactly the same function, just bigger because it's for maybe it's for more accurate measurements, whereas the Astrolab is for handheld measurements, sort of quickly. You know, like checking for eclipses and stuff. Whereas the big ones for working out how long Mercury is going to be visible. Astrolabe. I mean, I could be completely wrong. It's that sort of makes sense to me. Am I happy with this map? I don't think maybe it's too bland. I feel like there's a lot of detail though. Maybe it is fine. So let's see what options they've got. They've got coming here, in which case they've got two battle maps drawn. Oh yeah, Red 13's uncle or adopted father, maybe grandfather. I think it's grandfather. It's been a while since I played FF7. We got water, we got scattered clothes, we got cloth bags of washing, and then plenty of alcohol, beer, water. Maybe I just need a few more grasses and then that'll be enough. What I think is interesting is that the D&D club kind of, once they realised that I sometimes mark things on the map for them. But let me save this, see if I've got the map I can demonstrate it on. No, I don't seem to. Oh, that's a shame. Was it a picture, maybe? Yeah, it looks like I haven't got it, so I must have put it somewhere else. Do a quick check of my stuff. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Actually, maybe it's in my D&D folder. I have a lot of folder stuff. Yeah, there we go. So if I open, isn't showing, is it? No. Uh, so here it's kind of, did I not save it with the update? Oh, there you go. I used the mushrooms in this to indicate where secret paths were, because it was like, it was supposed to represent things like the sort of moisture in the air is different near a door, so the mushrooms grow better. Like, that was sort of the idea I had, to try and give them some indication of stuff they could look for in order to be able to find where the secret paths were. If you compare it to the actual secret paths, there's mushrooms there. There's a clump of mushrooms in this corner here. There's actually mushrooms here. Indicate this one. So I wonder whether they're going to assume that the grass is to indicate stuff. Okay, in terms of the map, I think I'm happy with it. It's going to be cut in half here on this line. I feel that sort of gives them enough space to fight on, is reasonably interesting to look at in terms of clutter and the colouring and texturing of stuff. I'm quite happy with this, the two different colours of dirt representing the more trampled area. To be fair, they also might have forgotten that because it happened last school year and we're only just starting our first session of the club again tomorrow. So they may have just completely forgotten all of the stuff they thought they worked out about my map making. Yeah, I'm gonna call this one done, I think. Yeah, I think this one's okay. Do I want to make a generic one for the war fight if they decide to fight it? Actually, I probably don't need to. Maybe I can just use this one. Which you two might recognise. How many squares is this? Quite big, actually, isn't it? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So it's 30 across, so it's way too big. Hmm. No, I don't think they need it, because the zoomies. Yeah, I'm surprised no one's taken me up on my free maps for any subscriber yet. I thought it was a good deal, but maybe it's not. Oh, it's got the open map thing. It's what, 16 by 11 for A3? I'm cutting off like a lot of squares. Yeah, I can't use this one for it. I don't, maybe I don't need it. Okay, I'll just, I think I'm happy with the loggers camp. I'm not sure you can. Like, I don't know if it's, oh, change map size. Okay, yeah. Save this back up. I save as? Save as. Random. I wonder how this is going to go. So it's 16 by 11. I don't want the drawing at 16 wide or 16 tall. So I can go -7 in every direction. Yeah, that just, doesn't work. Because that's 16 by 16, and basically all you get is tree. So no, I don't think that's going to work as my thingy map. Yeah, okay. So I'll leave that. We'll open the loggers camp, and then we'll export this. Okay, they're good. What do I want to do? Okay. Tell you what, I will show you the other dungeon they've got coming up, which is the Gold Tooth Mine. Also, Mountain's Toe Gold Mine. Okay, and one sec to change the image. So this is the other map. It's got quite a lot more combats, quite a lot more size to it. So I need to work out how exactly I'm going to do this one as a combat encounter. Because basically, if they do it aggressively, they could have fights in M1, M4, M11, M15 maybe? Oh, they could do M14 and M15 if they were real murder hobos. So I'm trying to work out how exactly I'm gonna get. Do I do a map for each of those rooms? Because they're kind of small rooms. Like M11's a single carrion crawler, which is There's carrion crawl. It's basically a big insect. It's a large creature, so it's 2 tiles wide. I mean, they are kind of murder hobo-y, but I've kind of broken them of it a bit. I'm wondering if they're going to come back fresh-faced and ready to murder. It's like by sending them to prison immediately upon them trying to be murder hobos, or by arresting them, I should say, rather than sending them to prison, I kind of got the murder hobo-ness to stop a bit. I mean, not completely. They did want to, yeah. The M11's tiny. M1 is small. It's like an entranceway in the cave. And then was it M10? M4 is, yeah, so M4 is sort of the big room, which has sort of like got 4 giant rats and 8 were rats. Jeez, that's quite a lot of. Oh, it's a large creature, and even though a large creature has a token that's 10 foot across, it would kind of. I think it's supposed to be the sort of thing that blocks the tunnel to prevent you getting past it, but can still squeeze through. It's like the token's 10 foot across, but the actual creature itself is probably like 10 foot long and 5 foot wide, but would still fit through the thing. It's just because we represent it with circular tokens just to indicate scale. Giant rats are. Yeah, so giant rats are kind of in packs. They're not hard creatures to fight at all. But they do have pack tactics, which is kind of brutal. And there's 4 of them. And then there's 8 were rats, because it's 1 per player plus 2. Because they have an NPC help with them as well. Oh, geez, I hope they don't fight the were rats. They're immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical weapons. And they haven't got any magical weapons yet. Hmm. In terms of their party makeup, this group, because there's 2 groups, there is a fighter who's an arcane archer. His arcane shots will do damage, but his regular attacks won't. Not till level 7. Arcane archer, paladin, he'll be fine. Druid, rogue with a no magical weapon. Druid, rogue, paladin, fighter, ranger. 6 players. And an NPC, so 7 players technically. I might need to offer them silvered weapons as a reward. Just because I feel like they're going to get absolutely annihilated by picking off on the were rats. Because in terms of their experience, they're not super experienced. I feel like damage immunities for the party is going to be pretty brutal. Let me just read what it says about the where rats and how they work. Uh, Basically, the quest has an NPC. Yeah, I suppose the quest has an NPC called Don John Raskin, who's like uh blowhard, brags a lot, who's taking over as overseer of the gold mine. Once you arrive and he finds out about the um were rats, he tries to persuade the party to attack them and get rid of them. And if you don't get rid of them, Don John Raskin turns into a were rat as well. Um, I feel like it's quite hard to roleplay where rats getting scared of the players if they're immune to their damage and outnumber them. Yeah, I think that they're gonna struggle with the gold mine, trying to work out what to do. What does he actually say? Raskin urges the characters to eradicate the varmints. It doesn't say get rid of, it says eradicate. They have a choice of two. They can either go to the camp that we just finished making, the loggers camp, or they can come here instead. If they do the loggers camp first, they all will be level 4 when they come to this dungeon. If they do this one first, they'll be level 4 going to the loggers camp. Because the milestones are completing 2 quests gets you a level. And they've already done one. It doesn't say anything that I can see about what kind of rewards do the players get. For completing the quest they've just done, they'll get 100 gold pieces. It's like they've got the opportunity to find magic items as they go through. Like the Mountains Toe Gold Mine has a pair of goggles of night. That's a good point. Is there any treasure in the camp? There is not. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, in terms of rewards, the campaign. Yeah, it's kind of. I feel like I'm gonna have to basically talk them into getting silvered weapons. Maybe rather than giving them 100 gold, I could forego the reward and offer them each a chance, each a silver weapon, maybe, or silvered. Quite expensive silver weapons, maybe a discount. Although I don't think they've got 50 gold to their name and it's 100 to silver a weapon normally. So the ranger uses 2 swords. The fighter uses a bow. Rogue uses 2 short swords, I think. I think the paladin's actually using a orcish great axe that he took off one of the bodies. I've already forgotten the party again. Fighter, ranger, rogue, druid, paladin. They've got a sorcerer as well. I forgot the sorcerer. How much health do the were-rats have? 33. 33 immunity to weapons. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to try and talk them into getting some silvered weapons. But yeah, I feel personally that the rewards are kind of a bit on the weaker side this campaign. It's like, let's see, one of the last quests they do, the where is the dragon's lair? Icespire Hold. Icespire Hold is page 30. So these are the magic items that they're supposed to finish the campaign with and take into the next campaign. But they're still a while off that, but they the treasure is a cracked spyglass worth 100 GP and a leather sack containing 450 copper and 182 silver. And 6 branches of red coral that would sell for 25 GP. And that's actually it for treasure for the whole of the hold. Like, at the minute, they've done 4 quests so far. The first one, they had their rewards confiscated. It's not actually his lair, it's the orc's lair that has been taken over by a dragon. Which room do they actually fight the dragon in? Is it H18? No, that's the orc barracks, which is where they find the cash. H20? The roof. There we go, yeah. Oh geez, when they're fighting the dragon on the in the final fight, they have to make a DC acrobatics check if they try and move or they fall prone. Oh, they can actually also get 3 potions of healing before they get to the thing. But yeah, in terms of treasure that they've already had, they've had a pole of collapsing, a clockwork amulet, a hat of wizardry, a wand of pyrotechnics, and 2 sending stones, as well as about 200 gold split between 6 of them. Oh, no, they had mithril chainmail as well. I forgot about that. The Butterskull Ranch gave mithril chainmail. And by the way, I mean that literally, Butterskull Ranch. Well, you paid for them. These are free. Yeah, this Butterskull Ranch I quite like. They literally... The selling point is that he makes human skull-shaped blocks of butter, which he sells. And it's a profitable enough business that after orcs invade and destroy and like take over his farm, once you've cleared out all the orcs, he just wants to start making butter again to sell. I'm sure there should be more treasure of this. Oh, there's a +1 shield in the Circle of Thunder. Potion of Greater Healing. They do have some options of treasure. Necklace of Fireballs. They can find one of them. And a Dragon's Lair. As in a Dragon Slayer sword. Well, to be honest, the part of the story was it? Oh, yeah, I forgot. They also managed to blow up a room in a previous dungeon and lose loads of treasure because they blew up the dungeon, blew up the room before they looted it. Okay, so how am I going to offer silver weapons to them without it being completely obvious I'm doing it deliberately? Uh, Traveling blacksmith comes to town, maybe? Or traveling salesman, maybe? But either way, I think this is probably a good place to stop. I've kind of stopped map making now anyway. I was able to completely finish the 2. To be honest, Winry, most of the monsters they fought haven't had pockets. They looted the orcs and they rolled not very well on their investigation checks, so they got some gold and 12 great axes. Not 12, 18. 18 great axes. Yeah, the Butterskull Ranch was brutal. What are those maps? I think I do. Yeah. So this is the Butterskull Ranch. This is the ground floor. Then we've got the second floor. Then we've got basement. So the owner of the ranch is the guy tied to the chair here. Oh, sorry. Uh, this is the basement. The owner of the ranch is tied to this chair here and had 2 orcs in the room guarding him. In fact, I think they were punching him, trying to get information. Then we've got the ground floor, which had 6 orcs in this room. No, 4 and 2 in this room. That's 8 orcs. And then on the top floor, they had 6 orcs in these, 14, 15, and then 3 in here, 18. Like, the book literally says 3 orcs per player. To be fair, I thought they were being pretty brutal about it. Yeah, let's see if I can read out the passage about the Butterskull branch. Yeah. Raucous orcs dwell in the farmhouse, consuming Big Al's ale and food stores. There are 3 times as many orcs as there are characters in the party. Place the orcs in B1 to B9 as you see fit, and they fight to the death. Like, this was recommended. This is the D&D starters kit. Adventure. It's like if if the group was small, then it comes with loads of like extra party members that I can control for them, or they could control both if they wanted to. Companions, that's the word. It comes with loads of companions. But yeah, I'm set up for the loggers camp, and I can make it work the where camp. I mean, adventuring certainly doesn't pay in this campaign. But yeah, I think I'm going to stop streaming there. Thank you both for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will probably end up doing a couple more of these map making streams in future weeks as they get to other dungeons, because so far they've been to 4 areas and there are quite a few. See. Here's the contents page that tells you where everything is. There we go. There are 14 dungeons, so I've got 10 more of these to make. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you later. Well, I mean, if I didn't make maps for them, then they'd literally spend forever trying to work out what the maps look like and trying to draw them themselves. So by making the maps, they do at least get to play for the whole hour rather than spend most of it arguing over what the map is supposed to look like. Like, that's the whole reason why I'm making maps, because I don't want them to feel screwed. Well, not screwed, just feel like nothing ever happens. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you later. I'll talk to you both on Discord anyway.